Welcome to Kennedy Fine Design. We're going to have a casual conversation, but I first want to introduce yourself. I want you to introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about you.
Okay, so I'm April Jones. I'm the owner and visionary of Ascending Serendipity. I'm also, excuse me, a mom to a 16-year-old daughter. And right now I am currently unemployed, but I am also employed to myself. So,
Okay, okay. Well, you know what? She says she's unemployed, but she has a wonderful business. So we're going to promote her business, and I want everybody to come out and to because she does vending as well. So she said events and she does vending events. But I also want you to patronize my sister. So this is awesome. Just sense and serendipity is off the chain. I will say that. I love all her scents. And I do have some favorites, but I'll share that with you. Well, I first want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on. I know that you mentioned that you're unemployed right now. Can you tell me a little bit about how long you were in the work? How long have you been in your career?
so I was there for 16 years. Of course, we went through different transitions of being bought out by, I think that was the third company. So we have been bought out. So I've maneuvered through the company in different positions, probably four different times. So I've been there 16. I'm there 16 years.
It's a long time. It's almost like you grew up in
Yeah.
the agency. So tell me about your background, your professional.
So when I first started, I worked on the production line, and then from there I went. I had actually walked out one time because I just didn't like the way that they were doing things. So we had my manager at the time had somebody come out to get me, and he convinced me to come back. So who knows if I would have not came back, where I would have been at that point in my life. But yeah, so after that, then I decided to become a lead. And once I became a lead, then I ended up going to another department in the back and learning about the shipping and everything. And then I transitioned into under an engineer. So and learning the processes and all that stuff of learning how to do time studies and uh, I guess gain more knowledge within like Excel and Microsoft and all that stuff.
And do you have what's your educational background?
So I do have a bachelor's of science in social work.
Okay. And did your field help you, your degree help you in the field that you were in?
Um, yes and no.
So
Okay,
that's
I would say like working with different teammates, I've been able to help them learn how to find their voice and learn how to stick up for themselves, and also help them with different resources that they didn't understand within the company. So,
so in your career, when you left, which when was your last day?
March 6, 2025.
Okay, so just recently. So when you left, what was your last position?
I was the title was customer service rep, but that's not what I did. We did a lot of reporting to production and to upper level management.
Now, April, I want to ask you a question in regards to your accomplishments. What are you most proud of in your career?
Um, I would say I was able to obtain my bachelor's degree while working there, but also learn how to stick up for myself and advocate for myself and not allow other people to walk all over me within being in the corporate aspect. So I'm thankful for that part of my journey.
Okay. And what inspired you to pursue this particular career or even going back to school? What inspired you?
Um, so I always wanted to be able to help people. And initially, my first thing I wanted to go into the field of psychology, but I knew that would take a little bit longer for me to finish that. So then I decided to go into social work and get a degree in that. That way, I'm still able to help people. So I have learned that although I'm not using my degree per se, I'm still using it within my business, which is helping people with the sense that I create to trigger memories, whether it's a happy memory or create a new memories within the household.
Well, what inspired you to pursue this particular career or field?
So my career at the job I was working at, my third position, my manager had left. And of course, I was already doing some of the work, but then our new GM decided that he was going to move me under somebody else. So I didn't even have a say so if I wanted to apply for that position or not. I guess God saw fit for me to be moved and make sure I was taken care of.
Okay. So you say you went back to school and you got your bachelor's degree in social work. What made you go into your academic career? What made you go choose to go for social work?
So I started going to school when my daughter was about maybe 2. So, cause I went to school prior to that, of course, and I ended up pregnant, and then I tried to go to night school, and that just didn't work. So I took a year off, and then I went back, and then it took me about 8 years to finish my degree. And so I graduated during the pandemic, so I didn't even get a chance to walk across the stage.
And that's unfortunate. That a lot of people during the pandemic didn't get a chance to have an actual graduation, but it's such a great accomplishment to know that it took you the time that it took you, but you stayed in the game.
Right.
That's really the amazing part about it, because so many people can quit. Even when you think about the pandemic, a lot of people quit. You know, it's
Right.
like, okay, I need to worry about my health, I need to worry about my family, things like that. So that in itself shows that you was committed to, you know, your plan. And I congratulate you.
Thank you.
That's really awesome that you know, stayed in it. And unfortunately there's no graduation, but it's a great accomplishment. And the other thing I want to say is your baby practically grew up with you in school.
Yes,
So
she did.
that shows her. So it also pushes your daughter to see that my mother is consistent and my mother's, you know, still aiming to strive for the things that she like. So you know, that's still a beauty in itself. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, April, now I want to say, what was your initial reaction to your layoff? And how did you process it emotionally and professionally?
Um, so the initial, of course, I was blindsided. We all were. When we had the meeting, I was I was very emotional. First, I just kind of just sat there and just I kind of processed it at first, and then in my mind, I've never had a I don't know if it was an out of body experience or what it was. I've never had a reaction in my mind where I'm just like, I was cussing somebody out in my head, but it wasn't verbally coming out. And so I made sure I wanted to cry because I was very upset, but I was like, I'm not going to give them that satisfaction. Like, you're not going to get that out of me to see me that emotional. So, of course, I had to process it. I got my stuff. I left and I came home, and it took me a couple days to process that. It did. The fact of knowing that I have been at a company for 16 years and the stuff that they gave us was like giving our ass to kiss. That's how I felt. But initially, now, I mean, I'm okay.
That's good. And I wanted to go into your reaction to the layoff because I also looked at it like you made such great accomplishments despite whatever could have occurred. You didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
But you still have an education to
Mm-hmm.
follow, which some people don't.
Right.
You know, you have a business that you can follow, but you also have education, which your education can help you succeed in your business
Right.
as well. So I you know, I wanted to kind of go into, okay, this is your accomplishments. Then what occurred right after your accomplishments? Everything happened for a reason, I
Mm-hmm.
try to believe. And when we fall in order, that in itself helps you to recognize, okay, I'm gonna be okay.
Right, right.
And when everything's gonna be okay. Nobody, no weapon formed shall prosper. So we have to remember. Now I want to ask you: do you feel the layoff reflected a broader pattern in the company?
Um, yes, talking to some of the people recently that has been laid off right after us. And so it wasn't, I think we were like the first set of people that got let go, and then now it's like a trickle effect that has been happening. So I would say I think some of it has to do with the times we are living in, which is the economy that is, the man that's in the White House. So, and his minions. Say.
Okay. Hey, I know the feeling. So tell me, how transparent or supportive was your organization when they announced the layoff? Did they offer anything that could support? Did they offer any programs that you could sign up, education and sign up for?
No, all they did was offer us unemployment. They didn't give us no option of any kind of education or anything to help us further our careers or anything like that. It was just a simple, um, you have pretty much, I think it was 30 days. So they told us February 6th, I believe, and then March 6th will be our last day. So if we did find something within the company within that time frame, then hey, that's fine. But if not, then you on your own.
Was upper management included in this layoff, or was
Um,
it colleagues? Your
no, as far as I know, it hasn't been any upper level management been let go as of right now. I just know it's been, like a lot of teammates that are hourly, and then it has been a few managers, maybe like one or two, but that's about it.
now, April, how has it been being a black woman in your field, and how are you feeling internally with processing?
Um, I would say I I was the only black woman working in my department. Of course, we had another lady. She was Nepalese, but um, I would say navigating and coming through the front part of the office area, it wasn't too many black women, not even too many black men. I made sure that I walked in and I had my head up high. I speak if I feel like I want to speak to you. I don't have to speak to you if I don't want to, just because of what your title is. But navigating that space has taught me how to speak up for myself. Because if I don't, and I'm just a yes person, they're gonna continue to walk all over you.
Do did you have a good relationship with your supervisor?
Oh yes, I every manager that I have had, yes. Now the AGM that we had was very unapproachable. So I would say their relationship was non-existent.
Okay. Do you feel like race or gender played a part later?
I do feel like gender did have a part in it because a lot of the people that were let go were mainly women.
So with your agency, the employment staff, was it majority women?
No, everybody. So it was me and my manager, and then we had another lady. That was it. Everybody else was males. That was in our department. Yeah.
It was such a low number of females that were in the agency. Majority of the women.
Hmm.
Um, tell me what unique strengths what perspectives do you feel Black women bring to leadership and workplace culture?
Ooh, of course, I would say strength. I would say we are more approachable and somewhat vulnerable. Also, I would say we tend to care more about what we're doing, and it's not like I don't know if I could say this, a penis swinging contest. So, sometimes you can get a lot of men together, and it's like macho this. When you can have women that are softer, but they are willing to listen to you and also help build you up. Everyone is not like that. I will also say some Black women, which I wish that we all would do this, tend to do try to come together and try to uplift each other and try to make sure that we are looking out for our sisters within the career that we're whatever career it is, our journey, that we are sticking up for each other and all that. So I want that for us. Some of us do that, but I need us to always have a sisterhood wherever we are working it.
Tell me, when you speak on sister careers, uh, do you have a sisterhood that you rely on and is supportive of your endeavors, your business? Um, Even with dealing with this layoff, you have a sisterhood that you can fall in.
I do. I do. Of course I have you.
Mhm.
And then you know, the universe has been so good to me to surround me around the women that I have in my life. Um, I've never had growing up had that many friends, and so now in my journey of my 30s, I have some great women that are behind me that will stand beside me, in front of me, whatever it is that I need. So I'm thankful for that.
How important is that in your journey?
Just having, I've learned that it's okay for me to ask for help, right? And to learn how to be vulnerable and knowing that I don't always have to do it by myself. So be able to have that sister that you can go talk to, whether if I'm right or wrong or indifferent, they're gonna still be right there for me, ride or die for me, and let me know when I'm wrong. Or let me know when I'm right, or just have a shoulder to cry on.
So now I want to go into your new life, this new journey. Old things have passed away. We can't dwell on it.
Hmm.
So, what has emerged in your path for your new goals? The aftermath of it.
I have peace,
Mhm.
which I know I've had peace before, but this is a different type of peace. Like I'm not stressed. I don't have to worry about getting up so early in the morning, hearing no alarm clock go off right now. I get to get up and just come out into my garden and water my garden and I'm enjoying life, not just living life. I'm enjoying it.
So, you picked up gardening?
Yes.
Okay, I see it brings back a big smile. So, with the garden, tell me it, to help other women. Tell me how gardening has brought peace to you.
It's just like tranquility, going out, learning is teaching you patience within yourself, watching something grow. So whatever seeds and stuff you're planting, if you continue to be patient, it's just like manifestation. Manifesting. Plant the seed and then you do the work and then you watch your fruit come to fruition.
So it brings about great peace. And tell me what else are you doing? I know you have a business, so that part about when you work in a 9 to 5 for someone else, like you said, you have an alarm clock. Okay, I
Yeah.
gotta get up. I don't care what time you go to bed, whether you go up early, go to bed early, or if you go to bed late.
Hmm.
That alarm clock can disrupt us.
Right.
It can disrupt sleep.
Hmm.
So ask you this in regards to your business and working heavily on your business. What now you can kind of live a soft life
Mm-hmm.
and you can wake up when you feel like you got more energy and feel more um you feel like you more aimed at growing your business
Mm-hmm.
than you were when you were working. I
Uh,
know you can still doing your business at this time,
right.
but how does it, how's that?
Now I'm putting more attention into and focus on what I want. So that does entail a sense of serendipity. So now I'm able to create more content. I'm able to actually decide what days I want to actually make um products, and if I want to take a 2 hour lunch break, I can take a 2 hour lunch break without nobody clocking it. So it's just I create my own schedule. So if I want to work 2 hours in the morning and then finish 2 hours in the evening, then I get to do that. Right. So that's peace for me. It's no stress attached to it. Um, Worrying about if I have to have something sent out at a certain time, which of course within your business you do have a deadline that you put on yourself or whatever connections and collaborations that you make, of course. But it's just different working for yourself versus working for somebody else, and then putting all that time and energy into making them, wealthy and getting their business out there without me not being able to do that for myself. So now I'm able to do that. So I'm thankful for that.
Okay, okay. And no clock to wake you up. You can
Yes.
start when you want. Like you said, you do promote and you do have a schedule for your business, but it's your own schedule.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something. Okay, I gotta get up, I gotta go to work,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do all this. I gotta get in the car, I gotta make sure I got my lunch and all these
Yeah.
things. Because those are a lot of things that we prep for the day before. Even
Mm-hmm.
though you even have a business, we prep for the day before.
Right.
But in the same token, it's like, okay, I know I need to go to bed at 7, so I can get up at 4. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if I go to bed at 7:30, I'm gonna be exhausted when I
Right.
get up at 4. I know I need to make sure I got my lunch. Well, sometimes by the time you get home, and if you have to travel quite a bit distance from your workplace to your home, you don't feel like moving.
Right.
You don't feel like you're
Right.
just tired,
Yeah.
right? Like, okay, I'm gonna shower and go to bed. Then that means you may not eat,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or not get some food, spend extra money, things like that. So that's the beauty of having a business and at home and being able to be on your own schedule. I one of the things I like to hone on too is a lot of people look at the pandemic as a negative, but for me and many others, so it brought on, it was
Right.
like it had its pros and it had its cons. Definitely the pros outweighed it, and I don't think people expected that.
Right.
That people will be like, "Oh, I feel so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I can spend some time with my child. I can cook dinner."
Right.
Those are little simple things that you should be able to do
Right.
as a human being. You should be able to eat right. You should be able to work out. Those things. But unfortunately, going into an office at 9 to 5, if you had to get up at 7 to be out the door by 7:45
Mm-hmm.
to be at work by 9, it's like that's a lot of time that's been
Right.
taken away from you, the opportunity to spend time with your family,
Mm-hmm.
even to see your child off to school.
Right.
Yeah, I commend you.
Thank you.
Um, so what advice would you give to other Black women navigating layoffs and or their career pivot?
I would say sit back and actually take some time out before you feel like you just gotta go rush and go work. I think we don't we as Black women don't get the chance to rest. All we know is work, take care of the family, and then sometimes we forget about us. So during my time, I looked at it, it's my resting period. I get a chance to rest my mind, my spirit, and my soul. And then whatever is next is whatever is next. Like I would say just learn, find out what you enjoy, what you like in doing your period of pivoting. And then on your next chapter, whatever your journey is or what you choose to do, then it could be something that you want to do, not something that you have to do. So,
Um, looking back, is there anything you would have done differently in your career or during the playoff process?
um, I would say no. Everything happened for a reason. Me transitioning throughout the company and me being laid off. It has been times that I have wanted to leave a long time ago. I had applied to so many positions, and God just said, "Not right now. When I'm ready for you to go, you're going to go." And so, although I didn't think I was ready, God saw had other plans. And so now I get the rest.
Okay. Now tell me this, and it's a two-part question.
Mhm.
How did you define success? Let's say 5 years ago,
Mhm.
and now, how do you define success?
Mm. So 5 years ago, success would have looked like make sure I have a lot of money in my bank account, right? Um, Now, yes, having the money in the bank account is nice, but having to wake up and not go clock into somebody else's job, that's success to me. Being able to see my daughter and pick her up from school, or if she, needs something throughout the day for school, she does make something at the house. I'm able to go do that, or even have brunch during the week, or just now having a talk with my sister. I don't, that's to me, that's success. Being able to have those talks and those connections that I wouldn't probably have if I was working for somebody else.
I do. I thank you. I thank you for taking your time out to answer some of these hard questions. I thank you for taking the time out to speak on your journey, the process, the experience that you had, for sharing for other women, other Black women are a minority. Period. Like you mentioned, there was if I think about the numbers that you said was in your workplace when it comes down to women and men, it sounds like maybe 20% women or
Mm-hmm.
30% women and the other 70, eighty
Mm-hmm.
percent were men. So we are a minority. So
Right.
I appreciate you sharing that, your information, you know, your journey. It's your journey. We all have a journey to feel, and to be able to have a process it or have the opportunity to uh, hear from someone else the experience that they had, and how they navigate through it is always so helpful. I appreciate just this opportunity. So I'm grateful for you. God has brought us together. We've been friends for a long time now. And we met in an environment with all women.
Mm-hmm.
We grew there, and it stopped. So I just want to tell you, April, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
greatly appreciate this opportunity. And I look forward to many more.
Yes.
I wish your business much
Thank
success,
you. Thank
and I
you.
will show you all her beautiful garden. So thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Okay. Anything you want to say, or
Um, a note to Black women. Let me say this. Do it and do it scared. Whatever it is that you want to do, I don't care if you are still working a 9 to 5. You have to start. I would say my sister told me a long time, if you don't start, then you don't know where it's gonna take you. Right. So I would have never thought that in my business that I would have the things that I have transitioned into. I started from making home fragrances, now I'm making body care stuff. So whatever it is that you want to do it. If you don't want to do it anymore, you can try something new. But you won't know what you like until you start.
April's journey led her to peace and purpose right in her own backyard by growing fresh fruits and vegetables. She's not only feeding her body, she's nourishing her spirit and her community. That's what we do as Black women. We root ourselves in resilience, we give generously, and we create beauty even in the face of hardship. We deserve to live unbossed and unbothered, free from toxic work environments, layoffs, and the weight of being undervalued. We deserve peace. We deserve joy. Please support April's business, A Scent of Serendipity. You can find her on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And join us as we continue this powerful series, Unbossed and Unbothered, a Black woman's journey towards peace, purpose, and self love. Thank you.